Hey guys, it's Alex from the Disciples here with second place from our Disciples Invitational event this past weekend. It's Benjamin Robinson.
Hi.
um, he played this cool Unchained strategy. Would you like to go into some detail about it?
Sure. So for the Unchained monsters, I kind of just we maxed out on all of the main engine pieces
Yeah.
because your main combo starts with any Unchained twin. Sorry, any of the two old Unchained twins, either a Kia or a Ruha, plus any other Unchained card.
As it
So
was,
you have
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
so you have nine, including the rotor. You have nine of those, and then you have 10 other Unchained cards. So that it doesn't end on too much, but it starts up the floating capabilities. Like it's
So,
kind of like bad salad, but
so does that get you to just one of the links, or what does that get you?
it it's not bad salad. That's bad. uh, it gets you to Unchained Soul of Rage, which links in their turn, and it gives
Yep,
you backup resources.
that's cool.
If you open one of the traps with, like, if you open either a Kia or a Ruha or the searching spell plus one of the traps, then you end up with more recursion as well. Like if you open chamber, then it gives you end up getting like 7k, not 7k. You end up getting like I think it's like 10k next turn or something.
Oh, that's insane. I remember when we were watching like you play every time you just resolve Sarama, we were just like, this card is insane, and
Yeah, Sarama,
yeah,
Sarama, it's not the like Sarama's really good. It doesn't start the combo, which is unfortunate. But as soon as you have any Unchained card in grave, it's just free resources.
yeah, it just seems so free. Like literally every single time we saw you like either float into it or just summon it, it was just it just like we were referring it to it like it was like you were activating half a scapegoat. Like you were just like summoning two guys, you were getting like a trap back or with a spell, I guess. But yeah,
Pretty
it was
much.
insane. Um, why only one of the disaster? The
Because it's dead half the time. If you draw it, it's absolutely dead.
Yeah, I assume
Um,
it's
the
that
only
much, but yeah.
the only reason the only you never want to see it. I know a lot of people play two because if you draw it, you want to be you still want to be able to summon it off the traps.
Yeah.
But I don't want to brick, so I only played one.
Yeah, I get that.
You can still summon it off chamber. If you draw it, you can still summon it off chamber, but it's not worth it for me because I just want because most of your combos are two card combos. I'd rather just maximize chances of seeing those and supporting those.
Yeah, I get that. That makes a lot of sense. And then why two of the Abominable Unchained Soul?
Okay,
Does
so um, if you play, okay, I play two because in the opening combo when you pop, oh, okay, we work this.
it's fine, don't worry.
Unchained Soul of Rage needs an Unchained Soul in order to summon it. So you have to either summon one disaster or, well, you have to summon a disaster or Abominable Unchained Soul in
Yeah.
order to summon it.
Yep.
Um, we didn't really see a point in summoning disaster, so we may as well summon Soul
Yeah. That's
because you can then reborn Soul with Chamber in their turn to get an additional pop.
yeah, I saw that a lot, and that was another nice piece of interaction.
So because it's you can't summon from hand for a lot of them,
Yeah.
you need something from deck. So you just play two of those because even if you draw it, it's really good
Yeah.
because you can just trigger it off any of your pops and then kill them.
Yeah. How was extravagance for you? Because there are a few occasions we were watching and we were just like, I feel like he might have banished too many of like the extra deck guys.
No, I never banished too many of the extra deck guys.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I did. No, the problem with the deck is that with the problem with extravagance is that occasion is that you're banishing. I was never banishing my like resource cards, like my Unchained Soul of Rage, because you only ever need one of them.
Yeah, it was just more of the
The problem is
utility
that
cards, right?
yeah, it's the generic utility cards that you lose,
Yeah.
which is why I'm playing Triple Unicorn
Yeah, I saw that. That
because
was pretty nice.
it's like the only thing that really hurts is when you banish the top logics. And arguably, if you were scared of like a specific matchup, like Eldritch, for example, you could play like 3 Trisbane,
Yeah.
but I wasn't too afraid of Eldritch for this.
Weirdly not. What else is unique? How good is skill drain in this deck? When I saw your list, I was a bit skeptical about that
Oh,
card, but
everyone was very skeptical about this card.
yeah,
Um, okay, so pretty much all of your Unchained twins float,
yeah,
and because they float, skill drain forces a simplified game state.
yep,
And aside from like Sky Striker, the majority of your outs, like Unicorn, Borreload, that kind of stuff, the majority of outs to your and Dweller, the stuff that outs you're floating, loses the skill drain.
yeah, that's understandable.
So it forces them to crash into you, and then you can summon a 3k
Yeah, as I
Abominable
say, you're some
Unchained
of the
Soul,
3K guy. Yeah,
and it just simplifies the game state to a point where you have to float, and
mm.
floating wins.
Yeah, no, I like that.
People kept if you go to like the trap lineup, people kept falling for Torrential
Torrential
Tribute.
Tribute, yeah. I saw a couple of good torrentials from you, and I was impressed.
In the striker matchup, which is it was kind of useless, and like
Yeah,
was mainly against striker on stream.
yeah.
But against Tom Barris,
Oh,
it just kept all of the machines off the field, so he couldn't summon anything,
oh my god.
so he
Yeah,
couldn't play.
yeah. I can imagine
And I
that
just
just helps that matchup so much.
and it triggers all your Unchained guys,
Yeah,
and then even if you Lightning Storm is an issue as well. I do want to quickly just hit on if they Lightning Storm you.
yeah. Do that. That's okay.
Um, I'm not naming any negates for Lightning Storm. I'm siding the judgments, but if they Lightning Storm you, it's fine.
Because your traps just float into more monsters, right?
Yeah, because typically your end quite often my end combo ended on 2 traps, or if you end up with any access to Rakia plus any Unchained Twin, or if they just pop 2 traps, you summon them both, you still have access to Unchained Soul. Sorry, Abominable Unchained Soul. They all have similar names.
Yeah, it's fine.
You still have access to that in their turn through quick effect, so you still have interrupts no matter what, really.
Yeah, because I saw you just like getting blown out by like pseudo blown out by spell trap removal, but then you just ended up floating into like Rakia plus like any of the other ones, and then that just ended up with a pop. And if you still had the link on board, that's still 2 interrupts.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Why Ash Blossoms and 2 of Ash Blossom and 2 of Ghost Ogre? Was this just a
Um,
rune thing or?
okay. Kind of not. Ghost Ogre it helps trigger my Unchained worst case.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But if you activate Sarama or Rakia on another card, you can chain Ogre to pop them and get 2 floats.
Yeah, I like that.
It also triggers Unchained Abomination in extra deck, so it gives you a pop. It gives you 2 pops instead of 1.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
it has more utility in this deck. So it's kind of I just play 2 of each versatility
Yeah, I'm guessing that's. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say like Ogre has increased utility in this deck.
Yeah. Is that similar reason for like playing 2 cool buy and 2 MST? Was it just like you just wanted more versatility?
The MST was I cut the 3rd call by for the MS and another card for the MSTs. 2 call by was because it's not that important.
Yeah.
They can Ash your they can Ash your Aruha. For example, if you use Aruha to pop a trap, they can Ash the Aruha, but then if you have any normal summon, then you can still full combo.
Yeah.
So it's nice to stop like Ash and stuff on extravagance and just for general negates, but it wasn't essential.
I guess.
And
Also,
I wanted MSTs because MSTs are really good just against rogue stuff.
and I guess MST also has the same interaction as Ghost Ogre with like you can pop your spawn traps.
Yeah, if I brick, it just starts up my engine.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to say about the extra deck besides like maybe
The extra
increasing the
deck,
top logics? But
yeah, top logics are all kind of fine. You can trigger them with your Rakia popping a guy or with your chamber in their turn.
I like that in
Bomber
chamber.
is
Bomber seems
bomber is
sick.
broken
Yeah,
because if they try to float, then you summon Sarama. Sarama pops itself. You summon Rakia. Trigger bomber again pops itself. Summon Aruha. Trigger again. So they can't float through it because I don't think there's no other deck around that's viable right now that can float through like 4 or 5
4
summons.
5 summons. Yeah. Right. Let's talk about your side deck then. So the first like half of your side deck is dedicated to going second. Was there a reason
Yeah.
for 2 Dark Ruler, 2 Lightning Storm? Was it just you couldn't decide which one was better, or?
It's more that because it was a more rogue-based
Yep.
tournament, there was no like I couldn't really distinguish like exactly what I'm gonna face.
Yeah.
So I wanted the versatility.
Um, was there a reason for like playing 2 Lightning Storm 3 evenly and not like 3 Lightning Storm 2 evenly?
I valued evenly more because evenly is more versatile against like a lot of combo decks are summoning all their stuff in defense position now.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So evenly is just more versatile. Again, because it hits both combo and just non-combo like trap trick back row stuff.
Control decks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And
sorry.
no, I was gonna say I assume you're gonna move on to rivalry now.
I was gonna ask about Nibiru actually. How was Nibiru for you?
Oh, Nibiru is fine. It's just putting combo decks under control.
Yeah. I was just wondering if it like came up where you like tributing some of your guys off and then you didn't leave you with like a large amount of
And
follow up.
typically, I never actually resolved Nibiru during this tournament. I never resolved Nibiru,
Yeah.
but like typically, it's either for going. I don't really side it going first. I only side it going second,
Yep.
except against some matchups like Medolce, for example, where I had to side it going first. But in those cases, generally, I wouldn't use it unless I had like follow up, like because you can search. You've got 6 copies of chamber, so you can just chamber after the Nibiru, and you still have monsters.
Yep. Okay, then rivalry then. Why
Uh,
this card?
because it's good against a lot of decks that aren't. It's good against more rogue decks.
Yeah.
If you're going into a more open format, a lot of decks they just don't have that much through it because yeah, like even thinking about it, even like Sky Striker, if you flip it in standby, they can't summon any of the links. It just wins.
it just wins and yeah, and also like what like I don't know, 80% of your extra deck is fiend monsters as well.
Oh yeah, it's
So
uh
it just
people
doesn't
don't
like lock you out.
people didn't realize that Unchained Soul can summon Unicorn.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize this early either until someone pointed it out to me. Um, and then Unchained Soul of Rage just became like 2 interrupts on its own, and I thought that was insane. Um,
Like unfortunately, it stops. Like going into Unicorn isn't a floater, but
yeah,
typically you'll have more than just Soul of Rage on board. Like the average M board is normally Soul of Rage plus a Rakia, and then maybe a trap. It depends on what you open.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, Rivalry just seemed like insane. Would you have considered bumping up to 3 or?
um, like for versatility purposes, I
Yeah,
thought 2 was fine.
yeah, I get that.
I mean, if you're taking it into a more like a less versatile tournament, like where you know there's going to be like a lot of Eldritch Adamantia, I would probably cut Rivalry and play anti-spells.
Yep.
It's just I probably would have done that anyway if I'd known about Mystic Mine, but
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Um, so in an overview of the event, how do you think it ran and that kind of thing?
I think it ran well. If we're talking about like the deck in the event, I thought the deck was a good pick for it. It was just people didn't know what the cards did,
Yeah.
and it
Sorry,
like
go on.
I had Dragon. I was against something like Dragon Link, and even that, if you can shut like things like Torrential Tribute and like Escape from Unchained, just the single pops were just really valuable in those matchups.
I think also just like having a less like known about deck. Um, People just didn't understand like how all of the cards works and interactions and stuff. Like,
Yeah, the people were quite afraid of. People didn't realize just what so like a lot of people knew the old Unchained stuff where it
yeah,
was just Soul of Rage pass, but they didn't realize with like how good Surama is.
yeah. When I started seeing you like pop off with Sarama and get like Rage, a guy, and a trap, and I was just blown away by how like powerful it was, I guess.
Yeah, it's like float. It's kind of like floaty at Eldritch,
Yeah,
but like there's some different factors, but it's just a float. It's a floatier Eldritch
it just
because they both
sorry.
recover a lot of resources.
Yeah, it also just meant that like a lot of the time you just didn't die as well, right? Because your guys would just keep floating into more different names.
Yeah, I just especially with things like floodgates. Like it happened a bit with Decan V1. I
Yeah,
can just keep float. I can just keep floating until I end up hitting like an escape or an MST or some sort of out,
yeah,
or I can float into Sarama and reset the escape and then pop it.
yeah. Did you ever consider like just this is another point about slide deck I just thought of. Do you ever consider like playing stuff like heavy storm duster? Um, if you thought that
I
like it was gonna be more grind decks or
I did consider Heavy Storm Duster, but the deck generally has a very good back row deck matchup.
yeah,
Like my matchup is really good against back row because I've got main MSTs already, but I've got the full Unchained package and Saram, and I've got Escape. So I've got searchable pops to their back row
hmm, that's true
that I
actually.
can reset every time with Sarama.
And then also I guess chamber to summon abomination, abominable
Yeah,
unchained souls also like
I can
that's yeah,
pop two or three cards of their back row in their turn,
yeah, that's insane.
and I've already got evenly strike and judgments for that match for those matchups.
Yeah.
So I didn't really see the need for it.
Okay, cool. Do you have any like final shout outs or anything like that?
Shout out to TierZero Games.
um, anyway, thanks for watching this video on the Unchained strategy, and thank you for Benjamin Robinson for not only playing our event and getting second, but joining me in this. Um,
Nice.
if you would like to see more content like this, follow all of our social medias in the description, like and subscribe, comment, that kind of thing. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.